The last piece of this particular, lighting lesson, if you will, is moving fast, sun dropping, classic end of the day mania, frenetic activity, trying to throw up a light or two and get something done before the sun disappears altogether. We had a great subject in his beautiful bike, Eddie, the motorcyclist, slightly on a ridge with a lake behind him and the setting sun behind that. So what we were trying to do here is quickly match exposure up front, retain the color and saturation of the sunset sky, okay, and also backlight the bike and get some drama out of that. And we were pretty successful at doing a multiple flash setup in a matter of minutes. Okay, good. Here we are, classic, right? On location. We're racing light. We took a long time on the road, and now the sun is gone. Okay, but classic trick that I have used many times in the past, I found a body of water that reflects the sky really well. So it's going to hold exposure. If you try to go out into all this greenery out in here and try to hit a foreground subject with flash, they're going to just look like they're floating in a sea of black, okay, because the green and all that stuff just soaks up light. So we're looking here at basically the body of water here is a light source, and then we're going to try to pull in that sky, and we're going to try to get some color out of it. We'll probably go with a cloudy white balance. We're going to do a kicker for a backlight, and it's going to be a TTL light. It's going to be an SB900 for a powerful backlight that's going to be gelled, color of setting sun, warm tone. That's going to be a TTL pattern that will establish, okay, as a powerful light that will then trigger the Quadra light. We're going to use, in this instance, the Quadra learning tool or learning menu in there, where you can take the Quadra, waste a shot with a TTL flash pattern, in other words, a hot shoe flash, and then the Quadra learns that pre-flash pattern, and then it learns it during that wasted frame that you make, and then it learns that pattern, and the next frame it blends into your overall flash exposure. That's where we're going with this. And we're going to use a strip light, kind of a long skinny light. It should be a nice light for the bike and Eddie on the bike, and then that powerful backlight. Is this guy happy?
He's wired, he's happy, he's good to go.
Okay, so let me take this. This is a strip light, long skinny softbox. Here we go. Okay, first things first, moving fast, let's get the basic ambient light exposure going. Okay, so I'm going to go into aperture priority. Aperture priority 0, compensation. Take a look at the sky, okay? Presumably the camera will read the overall exposure way in the back. Okay, I got a big blinking highlight. All right, so it's trying to accommodate foreground and background, not doing a particularly good job at either, all right? So what we're going to do is immediately saturate that background by going -2 stops on aperture priority. Okay, here we go. Try that. Better. Okay, now I got saturation to the sky, and Eddie, of course, and the bike is gone. All right, so now what we got to do is we got to take some light and apply it to the foreground. Okay, but if you notice here, okay, you see what's happening with the body of water? Body of water staying lit. Sky and water are almost an equivalent value. Really can save your butt in a difficult situation when you're running behind things and you've lost your light. Okay. All right, channel 1, TTL. We're going to go make this the master. We're driving group A in the background.
Group A is back, yes.
Okay. So, okay, see how we do? Okay. This is where it gets good. This is really where it gets good, when you are on the edge of not getting it, which is where you always are anyway. Right in the back of Eddie's jacket and head.
Can you take that dome diffuser off, please?
Sure.
Okay, let's try that. There we go.
Okay, now, haven't got too much light out of that background light yet, so we're going to work on that. Okay, first things first, let's take that light, and it's a TTL light, so we're going to go right away, we're going to go all the way up with it. We're going to go to +3. Okay, do me a favor, zoom that light out, please. Drew, how many other TTL flashes do we have?
We have this for the front plus one more.
Okay, so let's gel those and put them on floor stands, please, and we'll put them all in the background. Okay?
Sure.
We're going to fly one out this way, and we're going to fly one out that way. Full cuts on all, yep. Okay. Now we got some background light going on. Doing okay with that? All right, now let's do this. What we're going to do is we're going to train this power pack in a minute to learn that pre-flash pattern. And we're going to put it into a mode where it starts to learn how these pre-flashes talk to each other. Okay? But I'm going to wait to do that because I want to get all of my lights out there, because the pre-flash pattern changes with the numbers of lights and the groups, etc. I haven't completely sorted that out yet, so we're going to take another minute, live a little dangerously, get those lights in there so we really establish the final pattern of TTL, then we'll get the pack to learn it. You guys, you smoke? Take a break. Have a smoke, you know? Telling the guys to take a break, you know, because it's like been a very stressful day. And as far as I'm concerned, we have easily 4 or 5 minutes to make this photograph. That's more than enough time. Okay, let's put these guys, floor stands, we got them both on floor stands. Cool. See where you're standing, Eddie? That was actually kind of cool, just the way you were looking out at the sun. So, I mean, I'll keep in a different position, but I like the attitude, the body language and whatnot. Okay, so let's take that guy and we'll put it down here. No, that stays where it is. That stays where it is. Let's put that guy down on the ground. Hopefully, it'll see the flash from up in there, and let's fly it out that way. So we'll get, in essence, we'll get kind of a dramatic sort of spread of warm light behind the bike. Really separate Eddie and the bike from the surrounding terrain. Same thing with that light, Drew. Let's put it back in there and fly it this way, please. Now I'm going to raise my angle up a little bit, so hopefully those lights will see the whole deal. So they're both in group A, yes? So, okay, cool. All right. Yeah, you can actually go back to your original position. Cool. Good. Cool. All right. So now, let's see how we do with this. Let's put the pack into learning mode. Okay. Okay. Let's see if we got this.
Well, now
okay.
we need to see the flashes. So if we get this guy,
just angle it over that way a little bit.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think everything fired.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's power this light up a little bit and let's move it a touch closer to Eddie.
You want half stop or stop?
Half stop, please. Okay, cool.
Keep it here, and then I'll...
Yeah, just boom it out a little bit. Good. All right, now just pitch down with the boom. Okay, good. Right in there. Great. Now let's see how we do. Okay. But something just happened because I lost a ton of exposure with this light for whatever reason. Okay. Let's relearn it. Okay, put that pattern back in, please. Okay. All right, let's back this off now, power-wise, about a half stop, please. And Alex, could you let Mark handle that? Redirect those lights in the background so we get a little more play this way, please.
Just put one on top of there. Yeah, turn that way.
All right. Okay, we got a reassuring pop from here. Okay, everything's going pretty well. All right, so let's see. Cool. Now we got some background light going on. I'm shooting handheld at a 1/13 of a second. Got good saturated blue sky. We could shoot here for quite some time at this point because we're not going to, but with digital, you can really draw that sky. We're dark up in here, but I've got a 1/13 of a second, okay, shutter speed, so I'm not really all that dragging my shutter for a very long period of time. I still got a ton of light up in the sky, and the camera's accommodating that. Okay, here we go. Eddie, you look great. Hang in there. Good. Now you hear that long recycle. Hear this recycle really quick. Those recycle really long. Why? Okay, I'm asking those background lights effectively to be almost like a main light. It's lighting up the entire background, and those 3 flashes back there are little battery operated lights. They're stressing pretty hard right now, and they're blowing a lot of light at +3. The Quadra has learned the +3 pre-flash pattern, and now it is firing with my exposure, and it is becoming Eddie's light, and this nice long strip here is coming right along the bike and providing light for him and the bike. And it is not working that hard at all. You can hear the beep coming back right away. So that's kind of cool. Let's do this, please. Let's pan this light head this way so we get the front of the bike. Tip it down, please, Alex. Okay, all right, pan back now this way, right there. Okay, let's see how that does. Cool, great. Now, we have one more SB900.
That is all 4 now, including this. There's 4 of this.
Okay, let's do this. Let's take one of those. All right, let's do a little, just a little kick. Let's put a B port in a Quadra. Now it's going to need to learn the pre-flash pattern as well, but let's hand hold it right at the nose of the bike, and we'll just put a little flick off the end of the bike. Just that. Eddie, could you do me a favor? Could you turn the bike on or turn the headlamps on?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yep. Okay. Cool. Is it at minimum?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Back off a little bit. More back where Daniel's standing, over in that area. Okay. Cool. Right there. Good. Okay, now we added a front light to the bike, and it's working out well because it's matching up with the headlamp of the bike. And that pack had to learn the TTL flash pattern too. And we've got it down in the B port, which is 30% of whatever you're programming the pack to be in. So now that pack is absolute minimum, which is somewhere around 8 watt-seconds, which is real small amount of power. But I'm getting good play off of it, and the bike is really being sparked in the front end of it. And it's pretty logical to see that because the headlamp came on. Eddie is looking really good. Cool. All right, a few more frames. Here we go. Great. All right. Happy accident. Weird happy accident. See the exhaust coming out of the tailpipe of the bike? It's picking up all our backlight. Okay, now, Eddie, stand up, fold your arms, really kind of strong. Okay, cool. Come more to the front end of the bike, please, Eddie. Okay, cool. And can we put the helmet on the back end of the bike, say, Drew?
No, it's separate with my
One of them's not flashing.
That's all right. All right, we got it. We're done. Anybody want to take a look?
Very cool.
Cool.
Great. It's a nice picture. Very sharp. Okay, the end of a very long day in the field. Sun is now, this is the reverse of the situation we saw earlier on the dock where I was afraid of the sun coming up. Now the sun is hitting the horizon, it's dropping like a stone. So moving fast, I have to set up something really quickly. Again, what I tried to do was use the TTL or ITTL technology, the pre-flash, okay, of the small flashes and integrate them with the Quadra. Using, again, the iCell technology or intelligent cell technology of the Quadra. What I found was, again, extremely difficult to do in this scenario. We were having lots and lots of misses. What we had to do was actually to get the cell eye on the Quadra to read, we actually turned the unit horizontally so that cell eye was facing directly in to my flash that was firing on the camera. Worked, okay, to a degree, but what we ended up doing at the very end, we went to a straight up line of sight, okay, manual slave eye operation where we had one big flash going off, triggering all the other small flashes. It's always an issue, right? Line of sight. You have to establish the fact that whatever is the master flash has to be able to be seen, whether it's TTL technology or whether it's just, you know, manual technology, okay, it has to see all those remote units. So that was the difficulty we were having stumbling around in the dark on the edge of that lake. Again, what I did, I just backtracked in my head and I went simple. I went with what I knew could work, which was the fact that the strip light, the Quadra was into that strip light, big, now beautiful light source, covering or draping light on the whole set. That picked up all of the other stuff. And that's what we did to end up with that particular photograph. So, adventures in the field with the Elinchrom Quadra. Chose this unit because I'm already systematized with Elinchrom. I used their flashes. This puppy has come along at, I think, an interesting and fortuitous time when a lot of small flash photographers are kind of looking at what is the next step or what is the slightly bigger step. How can I stay portable but get a little more of, you know, in the realm of power and perhaps access to certain kinds of light shaping tools, certain sophistication with the way they bring light in the field. So this felt like a good time to do this. I hope you enjoyed seeing the ups and downs, okay, with this unit. As always, locations throw curves at us, the photographers in the field, that are not necessarily encountered by engineers in a lab when they're bench testing stuff. We pretty much stressed this unit, saw some areas where it really excelled, saw some areas where it's going to improve, and you know, enjoyed just working with it and coming up with some pictures. Okay, now we've got a few segments coming up here, actually two, that are going to speak to the technical aspects of the unit. We had at our disposal a great person who can instruct us in this regard, Mark Assman. He is a representative of Manfrotto here in the United States, which distributes Elinchrom, which is a Swiss-made flash. But Mark really is up to speed on all of the aspects of the Quadra. He's going to show you in this particular segment kind of the physical nature of it, the head, the weight, the size, all that sort of stuff, how it couples to a battery. Now, from field experience, here's the thing about that battery coupling. It is a plastic set of joints, if you will, or clips on the side of the unit. The battery is in the bottom, down here, which is the heavier part. So it bears a lot of weight on these clips, which are right here. Okay, so if you can see that. It's cool, it works, but I have cracked at least one of them just in preliminary use. So what we do as a safety or a precaution until they perhaps improve that battery clipping system is we use the photographer's saving grace, the thing that makes everything else work, gaffer tape. Okay, what I do is I just put a loop of gaffer tape around the whole thing and it shores up that juncture point where the battery meets the rest of the unit. So Mark is going to take you through the paces of what this thing actually looks like, weighs, and feels like.
So how do we connect the heads to the pack? Well, it's pretty simple. We have a cord. In the kits, we ship with a 8-foot cord. There's also a 5-foot, in case you want to throw the Quadra over your shoulder, an 11-foot, and we'll be releasing very shortly a 16 and 32-foot cable. So all I did was plug in
Any voltage loss or any power loss over a 32?
Yeah, every about 10 feet, you're going to lose about a stop of power out of a cable. It doesn't matter whose it is, it's just the resistance in the line that you wind up losing. So, and all I'm going to do, these are keyed. There's a little segment here, and you just want to screw it in. What's very important is these are battery packs, and they have capacitors in them. And you want to make sure when you're plugging or unplugging a head that you shut the pack off. The pack should not be on when you're plugged in.
So you don't want to hot swap them, and you probably don't want to take your tongue and put it right on the terminals there either, just as a general, a little bit of field experience and advice.
Thank you, Joe.
Oh, you're welcome, Mark. Anytime I can be helpful, I'm here for you.
So just a couple other basic features on this pack. We have built-in wireless triggering via Elechrome Skyport wireless triggering system.
That was good.
That's all, folks.
Power switch right here. Right?
Yep, that turns us on. The power switch down here. The basic operation of the pack. When it comes on, you can see that we have a P, and in this case it's reading 6. That's at our top of power. To adjust our power, we just press the up or down buttons. Now, what does the P mean?
Well, let me ask you this too. I mean, in Elechrome speak, each of those tenths of a point here in this display means a tenth of an f-stop. Yes?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So we don't really know what this is going to equate to until you've actually put a head on a light stick and pointed it at a subject and then take a measurement. And at that point you say, I need to be up a third of a stop. All you have to do is press this button 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and you'll be exactly 1/3 of a stop up.
Mark just mentioned measuring and adjusting the pack. So that's an important point because you have to remember that this is not a TTL flash. Huge popularity, over the last several years in hot shoe speedlight flash, which has TTL or through the lens technology that's proprietary to the camera system. This is not that. When you make an adjustment in this light, you have to make an adjustment manually. Either go to the pack itself and physically trigger it and move it up and down, or as eventually we'll talk about and you'll see in the field, we can adjust it from a radio transmitter called a Skyport. But just so you know, this marriage for me, or this kind of juncture point that we're at where speedlight takes you so far, this is kind of, for me, the next step. It's an interesting evolution in technology and also portability with flash. So it's kind of cool. That's why we're doing this.